him for something to laugh at. He thought they were gonna laugh at him. Okay. What clues does the reader give us show us that the Algerian court system is different than the U.S. judicial system? What's different about this court than court here?
The lawyers were.
Sorry?
The lawyers were the gowns.
The lawyers wear gowns, okay, that's one of them. What else? I heard it over here. Guys? You say there were 3 judges?
Yeah.
There were 3 judges, good.
Oh, shit.
So what? Jacob. Next time you're staying after with me. Or I'm gonna bring in a swear jar. It'll be $1 to swear. Alright. So there are 3 judges. The head judge wears red. And the other 2 wear black, so that's different. As opposed to there being 1 judge here in the United States. And but other than that, it's pretty similar. The 2 different judges or lawyers each like give their statements, they examine the witnesses, but there are 3 judges. So instead of 1 person deciding your fate, there are 3. So that actually could be kind of good, unless all of them hate you. That could be bad. Anybody do have your hand up? No. You're shaking? Okay. Okie dokie. Number 3. Who are the 8 witnesses that will testify at Marcel's trial?
Marie.
I'll just read it. Make sure you have them all. The director of the caretaker at Marengo, the retirement home. Thomas Perez.
Solomon.
Raymond.
The guy from
Jacob. Patience. That's on great. Thank you. Nasson. Solomano. Celeste. Marie. Is that all of them? The caretaker, the director, Tomas Perez, Raymond, Masson, Solomano, Marie, and Celeste. Okay. Number 4. A previous incident occurred between the caretaker and Marcel, which is briefly discussed during the trial. This leads to Camus' title of the novel. What is the incident?
The caretaker offered him a coffee while he was next to his mom.
Okay, a coffee and a cigarette. Good. So, and how does that, what does the lawyer say? The lawyer says something about that leads to the title. There's a line from the novel. Did anyone catch it?
I didn't know the exact words, but he said that the stranger offered you coffee while you lied next to the woman who gave birth to you, and you could have said no.
Exactly. So what the magistrate says is that a stranger can do that in front of the dead woman, but not her son. So the fact that, because Marcel is saying, well, like, he had coffee and cigarettes too, we both did the same exact thing during this vigil, but the magistrate is saying, the lawyer is saying, like, well, he's a stranger to the lake. It's okay for a stranger to do that in front of a woman, but that's your mother. Like, there's no way that you should have smoked and had coffee during your mother's vigil. Like, that is a no-no. And because of that, they judge his entire character off of how he acted during his mother's funeral. So, like, the moral of the story is you never know when the things you're doing are gonna come back to bite you. He had no idea that having a cup of coffee and a cigarette at his mom's funeral would have such bearing on a criminal case that he ended up becoming involved in. So, I mean, although Marcel is very apathetic, he kind of learns the hard way that his apathy might lead to him to trouble. We don't know that yet. All right, number 5. When Celeste, the fourth witness, is called to testify, how does he show support for Marcel? What does Celeste blame the incident on?
Bad luck.
Bad luck and chance.
Yep.
Yeah, he says Marcel is a man. I remember Kobe had said something about toxic masculinity, right?
Yeah.
So there's Celeste saying that. He's a man. This is what men do. Men fight. Basically saying, like, it's acceptable for men to just shoot each other
And be aggressive.
and beat their mistresses.
Yeah.
Okay? Number 6. How does the prosecutor attempt to prove that Marcel has no conscience? In your opinion, is the prosecutor correct? We already talked about this a little while ago. But now, as this is going on, as the trial goes on, does he have a conscience? What does the magistrate say? How does the prosecutor You don't like the prosecutor? What does he say to try and prove that Marisol has no conscience? What incidents does he bring up after Maman's funeral? Go on to the movies. Good, Jacob, yes. And what does he bring up about the movies? What kind of movie did they see? They saw a comedy, and that's a huge deal. And then Marie goes over to his house. He brings a woman home with him. Yes, Carlos. He is wilding out. But the point is, it's disrespectful. He wanted to see a comedy. Like, had he gone to see like a tragic movie, maybe they would have been like, oh, he wanted to see a tragic movie. It was really sad. But no, it mattered that he saw a comedy. And then on top of that, he took a woman home who was not his wife. It was inappropriate. That's why they don't even say the word girlfriend. They say mistress. Maria was his mistress. And even that surprises him. Because in his mind, they weren't doing anything dirty. They were just being adults. But at the time, that was his mistress because they weren't married. It was an inappropriate relationship. Inappropriate premarital sex was definitely frowned upon, especially by this highly religious community.
Oh, God.
All right. I wrote down that I thought he had a conscience. I think he has a conscience because he knows that he's guilty. Like, yeah, he doesn't feel bad for it, but if you don't know how to feel bad, then you don't know how to feel bad. But if you know you did something bad, then like you clearly understand right from wrong. He knows he's done something bad. But that's up to you guys to determine. All right, number 7. We're almost done. 2 more questions, and then we'll move on. Because I know this is your favorite thing.
Just knows.
What's the prosecutor implying when he questions Raymond? No, he keeps saying, references, Raymond keeps saying, oh, it was just bad chance. It was just chance that this happened, just chance that this happened. What is he implying?
Then nothing happened by chance.
Okay, so if it happened by chance, then who orchestrated it?
Raymond.
Raymond. So Raymond is a good character or a bad character?
Bad.
He's not a good guy. That's what he's implying. That Raymond is not a good guy. Raymond is a seedy character. And because Marisol is his friend, so is Marisol. Neither of them are wholesome people. That's what's being implied. Explain what Marisol means when he says, it's back to my cell, the sleep of the innocent. Where's my book? I'll read the book for you guys. And then we will predict how we think, whether or not we think that Marisol will accept God. Page 97. Don't. We're going to talk about it.
Of course not.
Well,
All right, he says,
he does.
Jacob, patience. What awaited me back then was always a night of easy dream of sleep, and yet something had changed since it was back to my cell that I went to wait for the next day. As if familiar paths had traced in summer skies could lead us easily to prison as to the sleep of the innocent. So that speaks about chance. What is he saying? No, not that he might have a chance. The chances have all been taken, and they ended up poorly. Did anyone get this? So what I took from this was that he could have just as easily not pulled the trigger, and then he'd still be innocent. So, like, in his mind, it was chance that, like, everyone keeps saying it's chance, everyone keeps saying it's chance, so let's keep saying it's chance. And for Marisol, it was just by chance that the sun glinted off the blade and into his eyes that he pulled the trigger the first time. The first time was by chance in Marisol's mind. The rest of them he did on purpose. So that's, Marisol has a conscience because I feel like he didn't necessarily mean to pull the trigger. He just felt like drunk with the sun, and then it happened, and then he's like, well, I did it. He's taking responsibility for that action, even though he knows that he's gonna go to prison for it. But he doesn't feel bad because he didn't do it on purpose, I don't think. And it wasn't premeditated, and he says that. He didn't go to the stream to shoot the Arab. He was getting away from the women and their feelings because they were upset that Raymond had his mouth cut. So he's like, well, why don't you get away from the women? And as he's walking toward the beach, the sun is making him drunk, and then he gets there, and the Arab's there, and he glints the sun in his eyes, and before I know it, Marisol's in prison. These crazy series of events that are happening, and Marisol had no control over anything except himself, and he couldn't control himself. So, I want you guys to discuss with your table really quickly for about 2 minutes whether you think Marisol has a conscience, whether you think he's responsible for this, and then whether you think he's going to accept God. Because there's going to be a chaplain that comes in the last chapter to try and get him to repent so he can have eternal life that the chaplain believes exists. And then, but will Marisol do it? So spend 5 minutes. I want to have one person from each table. I just want you to tell me what you guys said. So pick someone to share with the class about what you guys discussed. Decide whether or not he has a conscience, and then decide whether or not he's going to accept God. So at 10:53, I'm gonna ask you guys to share.
Well, I don't think he's gonna accept God because he's so like, I think he's too far gone, I guess you could say. Like he's just too much on the I don't care side to even try. Well, what else does she want us to discuss? Does he have a conscience? Like, I don't know if he knows that it's bad. I think it's more like he knows what he did and he knows that there are consequences for it. I don't know if he knows that it's like a bad thing or he doesn't. I don't think he believes in good or bad. I think he just believes in what it is and what it isn't. Yeah.
Why would these her book show any kind of
Does anyone else have any ideas?
yeah.
What if he's like his mom, like not religious, but like at the end, then he switches or something?
Like innocent or at least redeemable. Like okay, yes, you know, hey, there's parts where you want to they found it, they found religion, you know what I mean?
So it says like, he but yeah.
Or maybe
Can we go first? Sorry.
he wanted it to be him. Or he's like, he acted like, I don't want you to shoot him, but then instead he was like, I'm gonna shoot him.
Dude, that's a real, like, are you sure?
Did you guys pick someone to be the speaker for your group?
Yes, I did.
Yeah? Alrighty, Kobe's table volunteered, I think he's got a little bit of an opinion about it, I'm sad here.
A little bit of
So let's give Kobe our attention, he's gonna tell us whether he or not he believes that Marisol has a conscience and whether you think he's gonna accept God.
Alright, yeah, go for it. April, take it away, friend.
Okay, so I think he does have a conscience because if like starting from the beginning with Raymond, he would have never taken the gun away from Raymond. He would have just let him shot the guy. But because he like wanted to what was best for Raymond, didn't want him to be in the position he is in right now, he was like, no, give it to me. So he takes it. And he never had the intentions of killing him, but it just happened.
Good, that's a really great point, April. So April has said that he took the gun away from Raymond so Raymond wouldn't do anything stupid. So meaning he knew that having the gun was a bad idea and he took it away from his friend because he cares about his friend, even though his friend is a POS, right? And, you know, he shot the person, but it wasn't premeditated, it wasn't intentional. Good. Does anyone have either, do they want to agree or rebut that? Okay, go ahead.
Agree with that.
You want to agree?
Yeah.
Okay. So do you think, so you do think he has a conscience?
And
What? Will he accept God?
No.
No? Did you read it or are you just guessing?
No, I'm guessing.
You're guessing? Okay. That's what. And what do you think? Why do you think he won't?
Because throughout the whole book, he hasn't showed any like signs that he cares or like wants to apologize or like repent, even when the magistrate was first interrogating him.
Right? The magistrate keeps telling him like, we can save you, repent. And Marcel's like, no, Marcel refuses to lie. Anyone else would be like, sure, I accept God, sure, just get me out of prison. He's like, no. He's so authentic in that way that he would rather accept whatever consequences for murder rather than just be like, okay, sure, I'll accept God, I'll baptize me, I'm a Christian now. He's so authentic. He's like, no, that would be a lie. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like, I still don't believe in God. You can wave your crucifix in my face all you want. I'm still not gonna believe in God. So good. That's a very good point. Okay. I'm gonna go over here. Yancy's table. Do you guys think he has a conscience? Yes or no?
I don't think he really has a conscience because he doesn't really show emotion.
Okay. So Leo disagrees. Leo thinks he does not have a conscience because he doesn't know how to show any emotion, right? He's not sad when Lamont dies. He's not excited when Marie comes to visit him, right? Okay, do you think he's gonna accept God? Probably not, because he doesn't have a conscience, right? Someone who doesn't have a conscience doesn't really care about any kind of eternal damnation. Okay, good. Say? Who's talking at your guys' table? Hold on, I'm just gonna go in order so I don't forget anyone. Leo, I know you've read it. What do you think? Does he have a conscience?
Not really.
No, he doesn't have one? You agree with Leo? Okay. Because, for the same reason?
Wait,
He
what was
hasn't
their-
shown any remorse?
What was their argument again? Like what
He
reason?
hasn't shown any kind of feeling throughout the whole thing, so he doesn't have a conscience. In order to have like a true conscience, you need little Jiminy Cricket to make you feel bad, right? Like he knows. So Leo's point is, both of the Leos, like that. Their point is because he hasn't felt anything, then he doesn't actually have a conscience. Like he knows because they told him what right and wrong was, but does he actually feel right and wrong in his soul?
So, is there
Hold on,
something?
Chris?
Yeah.
I was just gonna say, I feel like there's a difference between conscience and emotion, cause like you could like not feel whatever, but like I feel like Mersault, he doesn't believe in right and wrong. He believes in what is and what isn't. Like he knows what he's doing, and he doesn't feel that it's bad or good. He just feels like, oh, it happened.
It is what it is.
Yeah,
And there is no good or bad.
yeah.
However, does that come to bite him in the butt because he thought that way and now he's in prison?
Yep.
There was no good or bad, and he lived that way, that apathetic way his entire life, and that's true. You're very, like, I completely agree with you. There are lots of people who live their life thinking, like, I just don't understand emotion. There are lots of people out there who just don't understand human emotion. You know, they're wired differently, but they still do their best to interact with society and follow society's rules. So even though he didn't have any kind of like feeling like things just happen, they're not good or bad. Things, that's the absurd, right, Chris? That's the absurd. Things just happen. But it's how you deal with it or how people like deal with the absurd that makes their character. And I think that's what the whole existentialism is about. Like, yeah, life is absurd, but if you're dealing with it in a good way, like choosing to like, if the sun is bearing down on you and making you drunk, turn around and don't walk towards the Arab who is like, you know, wanting to hurt you. Like those are the choices. That's when you to catch yourself. And that's why I really liked the video, because he said the people who are out there who are messy and cluttering everyone else's like collective existence with carelessness, like Mersault did. Like no one had to die if Mersault were more careful. But I think that was a really good point. That was, yeah. He doesn't, they're two different things. Conscience and guilt are like two different things. You can know something's wrong and not feel bad for it. Like I know that it's wrong to cheat, but sometimes people don't feel bad for it, do they? I know it's wrong, but I did it anyway.
Trash.
Exactly, right? But that's about integrity. So, does he have integrity? We're deciding. Okay, so the back row talked, Leo, you talked. What do you guys want to say about it? Anything to add?
So we think his conscience is kind of non-existent. I think maybe he had more emotion when he was younger, but when he stopped going to school, he stopped feeling those emotions, and so he doesn't really have a conscience. But for the God question, I don't think he'll necessarily like actually believe in God, but I think he'll practice it, and I think he'll pray, because throughout the story you see a lot, he gets used to things and he likes repetition, so I think he's gonna do it like almost to entertain himself.
Okay, so he can start praying just for entertainment, for fun, for something to do. Start memorizing, you know, the Apostles' Creed is a nice 3-page prayer for something to do. Could be good. He could. He's bored in there. I mean, he doesn't know what is gonna be, he doesn't know what's gonna happen to him, you know, until he gets a verdict in the trial. So we'll see. How about Eduardo?
I think that he does have a conscience. It's just his feelings are what's like, if he like what Christian said, like since you know he didn't have a connection with his mom and stuff like that. I think that all played into him not being able to actually feel what's happening, but he has a conscience because he knows what's right and what's wrong, but he doesn't stop himself from doing it.
Okay. So he knows it. He knows what's right and wrong. He just doesn't stop himself from doing things that are wrong because he thinks life's absurd anyway. It's not going to have any meaning, so might as well just do what he wants, right? Going back to what Chris is saying. Good. because this is like really deep conversation that we're having right now. They didn't walk me through this when I was in high school. I've had much better conversation about this novel with you guys than I have when I was in high school. So I'm really proud of you.
Wait
Just
until
wanna let
tomorrow.
You guys are awesome.
Yeah, I find really good.
I mean, it's a good novel, right? There's a lot to debate about it. Was he a good person? We don't know. It's up to you. What do you think?
He has a conscience, but he just said it's weird. And the God question is not.
You don't think he doesn't believe in God? He's not going to. We'll see. Please? Anthony? I'm sorry?
I'm in a really good mood.
Okay, so you, but just reiterate in your own words. I want you in your own words. So that you know that he knows right from wrong, but he just refuses to do anything about it? Okay, good. Last table. Elias? Jacob? Don't spoil it. You don't know whether or not he has a conscience? Carlos, what do you think? Does he have a conscience? No, he doesn't. He just doesn't. You did ask, right? Yep, that's the epitome of Marisol for most of the novel. DGAD. So the lesson that I want us to learn from this novel thus far is that if you go through life not giving it purpose and meaning, then that purpose and meaning in life will be taken from you. That's kind of like what I've been wanting. That's the point. That's why I chose it. Like, also, yeah, he's a really interesting character, but also, if you're gonna go through life apathetically, and I know I did that. It took me 7 years to get my associate's degree. If you go through life apathetically, you're not gonna get the return. You gotta put things into life to get things out. You gotta make the meaning. Good job, guys. All right, hold on to these for